What is going on, everybody? I'm Ryan, aka Linko, and welcome to the channel. Today I have a slightly different video than my normal content. I play a lot of Souls-likes and RPGs in kind of the Let's Play format. I've really enjoyed it so far. If you could find it in your heart to go check some of those out, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'd love to have the feedback. I'm always looking to get better at this, and doing anything that you think I could improve on, I'm definitely open to. So please let me know that. Today we're going to watch Eckhart's Ladder video of the time he played Survivor. Now this is a game that's coming out in a little less than a week, and I'm ready to get hyped for it. I'm interested in what his thoughts are. I'm going to give my thoughts on his opinions, and let's see if we can get hyped for this game together. If you are looking forward to this game, please put it in the comments. And with all that being said, without further ado, let's jump on in and check this out. All right. Let's get hyped. I'm ready. I am going to link his video in the description, so if you haven't already, go show him some love. It is awesome that he was able to put this together.
I got to play about 4 hours of Star Wars Jedi Survivor a week ago, and today I'm going to push up as close to the NDA as I possibly can to give you guys my impressions of the game. However, before we get started, there are some really important caveats here that you guys need to know. For one, I was not paid to make this video. However, EA did cover my travel and lodging to Los Angeles to test the game.
So
now,
Wampa,
obviously, I try to be unbiased,
for sure.
but I've seen people swayed by free things, and I think
transparency
is paramount, especially where the game's not out yet for you to play it. As always, I do not recommend pre-ordering pretty much any game. It could be perfect, and I wouldn't recommend pre-ordering it after this video, so please keep that in mind. Also, a big downer, I was not able to capture my own footage for this event. We were supplied with certain footage, which I've cut up and included in this video. I'm also quite limited in what I can talk about, especially as it relates to story. Now, that's probably a good thing anyway. No spoilers in this video. I will give at the end maybe my general impressions, but that's really it. All right, so here's how I'm going to structure things. I'm going to start off by giving my general impressions on the gameplay and what's changed since Jedi Fallen Order. I'm then going to talk about what the play session actually looked like.
So real quick, I'm going to try not to pause too much, but it looks like down in the bottom left-hand corner, it looks like he has a single blade and a double blade. So I'm assuming those are the two stances you can select, and it looks like he's using a force power on this beast.
Some of the things I did, you probably get the idea. Then at the end, I will give some very basic thoughts on the story, and it'll be very basic. All right, so Jedi Survivor has the very enviable position of being the sequel to a really good game. I liked a lot about Jedi Fallen Order, and I think quite simply, if you liked that game, you'll like Jedi Survivor. It's a step forward, but not a drastic one. I think this is best represented by combat. Some sequels would completely reinvent the wheel, and in a way, I definitely wanted Jedi Survivor to do something a little bit drastic to make the game feel significantly more interesting than the prior one. I'm not quite sure it does that. What it does do, however, is perfect what we got in the first game. The animations are better. There's more of them. The force powers, the way you sort of intertwine them in combat, is different, but it's the same game really. You'll be parrying, you'll be dodging, you'll be working the force in. It's just now you've got way more moves. There will probably be more enemies, and quite interestingly, you now have 5 distinct stances. I'm sure you're pretty familiar with how this all works, but now you have a single saber stance, a double lightsaber stance, Darth Maul style, a dual saber stance, a claymore, a big lightsaber, and also a lightsaber with a blaster, which I'll talk about in a bit. Combat feels exhilarating, it's fun, it's very technical. I suspect it'll be very difficult on Grandmaster, but for better or for worse, it's essentially a continuation of the first game. Now, mostly for better. Again, the first game was great. There were some changes that I would have liked to see, however. For example, other games like Jedi Knight really dug into the acrobatics and speed of being a Jedi. Sometimes the best move was to jump, then do a downward swipe.
Just really quick on my end, the first game, the combat was great. I felt it was a little too platformy. I wish it would have been a slightly more open world and less linear. Maybe be able to do a few side quests. So combat-wise, I'm happy. I don't mind them not changing it up a lot. I'm glad they've added some, which is really cool. But otherwise, I'm happy with combat.
Wait, you still don't really get that in this game. You're more locked into the Souls style of combat.
Which
Where
I'm fine
you're seeing
with.
more drastic changes is in the enemies and the environment. Kobo has lots of different people you can fight. Aside from wildlife, I fought a Rancor, which was really cool. There are also pirate gangs, the Empire, etc., all of which you can face off against.
So
a lot of
maybe
these
more
enemies are really fun.
variety.
B1 battle droids just go down instantly, whereas Commando and BX droids are a real challenge. Some enemies are annoying. There's this little mine thing that just randomly pops out of the ground and follows you, but there's a lot more variety, and this is just one planet. We didn't get to see others. The more drastic change, however, even from gameplay and enemies, is the way the map works. This game is far more open than Jedi Fallen Order, or at least Kobo is.
That's
we
what
were
we
limited
wanted to
in
hear.
time, so I mostly chose to follow what they call the Golden Path. However, I did take the time to do one extra dungeon, and there are dungeons spread throughout the entire land. I managed to get to the actual end of the playthrough. They cut you off when you reach a certain story point, and even
all right, apologize to pause again, but he said dungeon, so is it similar to Elden Ring, where you have like maybe the planets are big open world areas, and then you have like dungeons you can go into with mini bosses at the end? That would be absolutely awesome. I would love that. This is sounding like exactly what I was hoping for as far as the changes
after doing all of that and some side stuff, I think I was about 20% done the planet. There are runes you can discover, there are NPC quest givers, and when you do those, you get everything from perks, which are little benefits that change gameplay, to extra health, to, I assume, more stim packs, just things like that. I think that'll be really fun to go through. I'm personally not a big completionist. I won't be 100%ing every planet, but it definitely felt like exploration was rewarded. And again, fighting that Rancor I thought was a cool end to a specific dungeon. And yeah, there's a lot of megafauna on this planet. Cal Kestis goes to the absolute angriest worlds with the meanest animals, and he just kills them all. I did notice as I was progressing down the Golden Path, you still return to a pretty standard Jedi Fallen Order mission structure as you're actually progressing the main story. So I do think it's a pretty good mix. I gotta say though, one of the biggest improvements that people are going to love has got to be cosmetics. And I'm talking the cosmetics of BD1, Cal Kestis, and the lightsaber. I'll talk about the lightsaber first because I was really pleased with what they did. Not only will you find new pieces of your lightsaber, new colors, etc., but there's now sliders which allow you to change how scuffed up the saber is, whether it looks completely new and shiny or whether it looks like it was ripped out of the old Republic. I just think this is great. One random small complaint I have is that in the prior game, even if you only had one blade out, you'd still pull the entire long staff out. And I like the look of the saber with just one blade. Now Cal snaps it in half. If you've got one blade, he's just got half the lightsaber. If you're going staff mode, he puts them together. I don't know, just a small thing for me, but I thought Cal looked cool with the fully customized lightsaber with both ends, so I found that a little bit disappointing, even though it's just a very small part. However, customization for Cal is the thing that's taken the biggest step forward. You can customize Cal's hair, his beard, his mustache. I found one that gave him a horseshoe mustache, Hulk Hogan style. And in the slider, you could then choose whether he was completely clean shaven or whether he had some extra stubble as well. Then you get to
this right here is awesome. If you're like me in the first game, I didn't even wear the poncho. Like, I could care less about it. I didn't think it looked cool at all. I preferred him without it on. And it looks like you get to customize him head to toe in this one, which is absolutely awesome. Even hairstyles and beard, that's really cool. That's got me pretty hyped. I'm pretty pumped.
To the clothes, you have an overshirt, an undershirt,
everybody can actually
pants,
have different
and the great thing is these are all very different. Like, they're not simple recolors, and in fact, each specific clothing item you'll find will have a number of colors as well. So you'll find a specific type of cape or a cool jacket, and it will have like 10 different color options, so you can really mix and match to create a lot of options. So it's not just different ponchos this time, and alongside getting things in the open world, there's also a story you'll get. If you guys have played Elden Ring. They're like those little dung beetles that you'll find on the map and you kill them. I can't even remember what they give you. Anyway, in this game, they give you a currency. There's other ways to get the currency as well. You can spend them at a store in town. I thought that was great. And yeah, Kobo has this little hub town. That's where Grease's Cantina is. Grease's Cantina, by the way, is so cool. I absolutely love it. It sort of serves as like a mantis away from the mantis. Cal has a room. There's a workbench. He can change his clothes. Oh, by the way, you can also modify BD. I don't think I mentioned that. And there's a significantly new and improved gardening system. It's just absolutely wild. You like place your plants on the roof. It's cool. In the town, there's a variety of NPCs. I mentioned the store that's ran by Doma Dendra. As you progress, various NPCs will show up in Grease's Cantina. They'll give you new missions, and I believe that this will continue to update even while you're off planet. So you'll do something on another world, you'll return to Grease's Cantina, it will have progressed the story somewhat, and there'll be a new little side mission for you to do. But back to the main gameplay, there are some definite differences in how you traverse the world. For one, the big thing, there's a fast travel system. I don't know if it's unlocked right away, but it was during the time when we played. That being said, there are certain situations where you're locked out of it. If you're in a tough area, sometimes you've got to walk your way out. However, as with the last game, I think the mini map is just way overpowered. You can bring it up, it will tell you which walls you can break, how you get through places. If you're someone who really enjoys like the Metroidvania style of gameplay, getting new things, coming back, searching every area, you're not going to want to use the map. It's way overpowered. Conversely, if you're interested in 100% of the game, you can, because it'll be clear, oh, I haven't been through here yet, but now I can because this wall is marked green instead of red. If you've played the last game, you know the deal there. Cal also has a grappling hook. I mean, whatever. As with the last game, there's lots of like climbing up walls and small little, I don't even want to call them challenges because it's usually pretty obvious what you have to do. That being said, I'm sure as you progress the game and get into some of the dungeons, which I miss, some of the optional ones especially, the traversal will be more difficult. There are also mounts you can ride. Cal is big on connecting with the animals, despite the fact that he's pretty happy to kill a lot of them. I'm kind of wondering whether that's going to be something he employs on other planets as much, but on Kobo, again, there's at least a couple. I want to emphasize, again, the fact that I saw very little of everything that was available. Like, I was talking to some of the other guys there. Someone mentioned the fact that they found a Wampa. I certainly didn't see this, but that makes it very exciting. The boss battles were pretty electric in a good way. I'm not going to talk about that, even if I could. I think I can talk about one. I'm not going to. I think they're worth finding out on your own. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the story. Again, very limited in what I can say here. I will say at the beginning, Cal and BD are alone. Cal is in search of Grease on, as I mentioned, the planet Kobo. Kobo is interesting in that it's filled with these criminal and smuggler groups, but the Empire also has a small presence, and it's big on mining. So if you're a fan of spelunking, it's probably a game that you will enjoy. The only thing we got to see outside of Kobo content was a developer showing off some of the advanced gameplay. A player who's really good showing us the 5 stances and some of the force powers, which are way up the skill tree. By the way, I'm going to try to include some footage of the skill tree. It's a little bit different in this time, but I mean, it's a skill tree. If you've played a video game before, you'll get it. I don't have footage I can show you of this section. I think it's partially because they're still finishing a few of the animations. Everything, by the way, still work in progress, but I was really impressed to see how a talented player of the game could move between the different weapon styles, especially the blaster. The blaster is not just shoot an enemy, but there are different functions. There's like a blaster bolt that can bounce between different enemies. There's like a supercharged one. To be honest, it's a lot deeper than I expected. I didn't enjoy the dual wielding as much, partially because you lose the ability to do a heavy attack. When you hold Y instead, he uses the force and sort of brings up an instant parry feature. You can punish like that, and the normal parry with the dual lightsaber blade is also very dangerous, but I like being able to throw in heavy attacks to throw off certain enemy types. For me, I was mostly just running single, double-bladed, did not get to try crossguard.
So the droids are fighting the stormtroopers.
All right, overall story impressions, and I'm sorry I've rambled here. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll follow up here or on the X Clips channel. The story moved a lot faster than I expected it to. There were some really deep lore cuts, which was good, and I'm very curious to see where it goes overall. I really don't know what else I can say. It's pretty much immediately compelling, but I didn't get enough look at what's actually going to happen in the game to say more than that. But yeah, those are my impressions of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I think it's going to be a great game. If you like the first game, you'll like this one, but if you didn't like the first game, time, probably not enough changing in Jedi Survivor to change your mind, unless you are really hating backtracking, in which case, hey, fast travel's here now. Also, the animations, I just want to mention this, I had it written in my notes, so good. BD, Cal, just everything looks incredible. And there's a photo mode, so that's nice. But that's all I got. I'll see you soon. Again, questions down below.
All right, and there it is. I have to say there's a lot of really good stuff in that video. The fact that, and I don't know if all the planets will follow suit, but the fact that it looked very open world extensive was absolutely awesome. It looks like the dungeons are platforming, which I'm absolutely cool with. Anytime a game takes some inspiration from Elden Ring, it is going to be a knockout of the park, I feel like. I'm also hyped for all the customization, looking into all the different lightsaber stances I think will be really cool. Overall, I just think this is going to be a huge step up from the first game. The first game was absolutely awesome. I really enjoyed the combat, but it was too linear for me. I would love to have a Souls-like combat-wise, but with like a Knights of the Old Republic world and side quests, and it sounds like that is kind of what we're going to get. I'm not really sure about the planting. You know, they talked about, you know, you had the ship on the first one where you could put some stuff and grow some plants. On this one, it looks like it gives you a whole little area on this hub world. So we'll have to see about that. But overall, I mean, the game comes out in less than a week. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm debating on whether I should stream it or, you know, do let's play, you know, type content with it. So please let me know in the comments what you think I should do, because I'm looking to do the best I can for you all, and I need your all's help to get there. I am running a giveaway. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away 3 $100 gift codes. All you have to do to enter is to be subscribed to the channel. I appreciate everybody checking these out. If you could find it in your heart to go check out some other content and give me some feedback, that'd be absolutely awesome. And also, if you want to see more of videos like this, also let me know. I'm interested in Final Fantasy 16 is the next game after this one that I'm like beyond hyped for. That's probably like my biggest game of the year, the way I feel like. So I could do another reactionary video to something like that. But again, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Later.